Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
What if I told you the water pouring back into the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool it's not the real headline today? Yes, the images are beautiful. Yes, the pumps are on. Yes, President Trump can now point to a restored national landmark and say, look, we fixed it. But it's bigger than a pool. This is the first completed proof of concept for the Trump administration's argument that decline was a choice and that renewal is a decision. You see, the left, they mocked that vision. The bureaucracy dragged its feet, and now the after image is here. The question is, what happens when Americans see undeniable proof with their own eyes? You see, for months, most people only saw pieces of the story. Construction barriers, crews on site, repairs underway, coatings, cleanup, restoration work that the average viewer would never memorize. And that's exactly why today matters. See, voters do not remember engineering reports. They remember the before and they remember the after. Under the Trump administration, the reflecting pool has now crossed from promise to proof. And that matters because this is not just about water. It's about whether America's capital has to stay dirty, neglected, graffitied, decayed, and embarrassing, or whether strong leadership can bring back order, beauty, and pride. See, President Trump's been making the case that if you restore monuments, parks, stations, and civic spaces, you restore confidence in the country itself. The Biden years, they trained Americans to tolerate the decline. But Trump's making the opposite case. Fix it, clean it, rebuild it, and let the country see the result. This pool is the first major America 250 showpiece to move into the finished column. And that idea, seeing what's valuable before everybody else does, is exactly why today's sponsor fits this moment. Now, if you could go back in time and buy oil before the world relied on it, would you? And of course you would. Anyone would. So why aren't you buying silver right now? See, the people who recognized oil early didn't just make money, they got ahead of one of the biggest economic shifts in history. And today, a very similar opportunity is unfolding with silver. Silver is more than a precious metal. It's a critical resource used in solar panels, electric vehicles, defense systems, AI infrastructure, and more. To learn why so many Americans are paying attention, simply go to nextnewsgold.com. You can also see how to qualify for a 1/10 ounce gold coin while you are there. Or you can simply call that number on the screen. They're waiting to hear from you. Now back to the moment the water returned and the symbolism got impossible to ignore. And this is the part the corporate media still does not want to admit. This project became a meme before it became a finished restoration. Think about that. Most government maintenance work is invisible and boring. This was different. People joked about hidden images, giant logos, surprise art at the bottom of the pool. Why? Because the public understood this was not just upkeep. It was a statement. The Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool turned into a test case for whether America can look proud, clean, and intentional again. And once the memes start, the country's watching. So here's President Trump in the Oval Office just a few hours ago discussing what is going on with the reflecting pool.
This is now open. And that you see the size of that compared to some of the biggest buildings in the country. Actually, the biggest, hey, Peter?
Hey, President Trump.
And we have it finished. The water is pouring in as we speak. And maybe we'll show that what it looks like because I'm sure the fake news will be thrilled. Take a look. This is from just a little while ago. Nice clean water. So we're here to talk about clean, beautiful coal. That's clean, beautiful water. That's the longest pool anywhere in the world. And here you can tell they're not progressive because this is not a progressive because progressives never wear or show an American flag. These are proud people from Oklahoma. They came from Oklahoma, a company from Oklahoma, to do it. But you notice the American flag, he's proudly showing off his work. You know he's not a liberal and or a progressive. Used to be liberal, but they changed their name somewhere along the way because liberal wasn't working, but progressive doesn't work too. Well, the progressive is a beautiful term. They are not progressive. They're degressive. You got that? What do you think? Huh? Daniel's great. He's a great reporter. And again, we have a picture of a gentleman in a cart. Proudly, this is the head of construction for the job. So you can see it's just finished. This is just minutes before. And there's a gentleman named Secretary Burgum from Interior, Doug, who's been doing an incredible job. So Doug, we have 22 waterfalls. Most of them haven't worked for over 50 years. As of this morning, they all work beautifully, and they're clean. The graffiti's gone. The broken marble is fixed. Well, there's a way of fixing it. You use a thing called silicone and you fix them. And they look beautiful. All of the hate and everything is removed from them. Some of them done through stupidity, actually, but hate. But here's another picture. Now you can tell this is a proud American because he's got a flag. The bad protesters never have flags up. They somehow don't like the flag too much. But we do. So that's great.
President Trump, clearly proud, says the job is finished, the water is going in, and here's the ground level proof. Crews on the site at the reflecting pool as the refill gets underway. ABC 7 Chicago posting this.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just set up a live. And
So you can see the crews there, the American flag flying proudly as President Trump showed us in the Oval Office. Active work underway, and the water is filling up again as the restoration of our nation's capital continues. So the work zone and the crew is moving. Emily Miller shows the payoff up close. The water actually starting to flow into the pool.
The water is flowing at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. It's so exciting. I'll show you.
Closing out, Marcus is standing beside it. About 300, 400 feet up.
In the middle of the sides, I'm not sure where to look.
Right over these white vans.
Okay.
See Marcus standing there in the green t-shirt?
Now I do.
Coming out of his feet, at his feet.
Oh my gosh, that's so
It just all
cool.
comes out in one spot. I
This
didn't
is so
realize
cool.
that.
I didn't either. Yeah.
All comes out like that.
Woohoo! Let the river flow.
Wow. So that's the moment the refill begins because the internet never sleeps. The next clip shows conservatives having some fun. The usual anti-Trump crowd melting down. So many possibilities for the bottom of the reflecting pool. Who will ever forget that face? I wonder if anyone's ever identified her. Probably in an insane asylum by now. So the memes are showing the work. Washington Examiner has the pump turning on and the refill happening in plain view. More from that. Beautiful moment as the reflecting pool begins to fill up. You know, when I was there, it was disgusting. And I can't wait to return to see it again. So it wasn't talk, the water's coming back up. Eric Doherty highlights the crew that Trump praised as the warriors, and the pool is reflecting again. President Trump officially goes to DC beauty mode. Lincoln Memorial Pool doing its job, reflecting again. The water is filling. Trump, our great warriors, fixed and rebuilt the reflecting pool. The left said it was impossible. But it's happening. reflecting pool is reflecting again. So the rebuild, the reflections returning. Now the focus shifts to another D.C. cleanup job. Trump says Obama and Biden let rot the Columbus fountain. President Trump dropping another gem. Posting this. Fountain dedicated more than 100 years ago in 1912. After it stopped working in 2007, Obama and Biden let the fountain fall further into decay. Significant work required to get the fountain functional. First photo below is what the Columbus fountain looked like after it was vandalized under Biden. The other pictures show what it looks like now under Trump. See right there. Before and after. Look at the Hamas graffiti. And now it is beautiful and pristine and white. The left hates this because they want filth, but Trump's message on the fountain is simple. Under the swamp decay, under his watch restoration, and the next image drives home the marble standard he's talking about with a striking visual. President Trump making D.C. stunning again. So, what does it all mean? It means the Trump administration now has a physical, highly visible example of its national renewal message that cannot be dismissed as theory. The water that's flowing into the reflecting pool is not a visual payoff. It's not a memo. It's not a press release. Not a consultant's promise. A completed result. Americans can look at the before and look at the after. That's powerful. It also means every other restoration project now carries even more weight because the administration can say, we did it here, we can do it again. And this is why the left gets so uncomfortable with visible success. Clean monuments, restored fountains, repaired public spaces, and functioning landmarks make decline look optional. And if decline was optional, then the failures of the previous administration were not inevitable. They were chosen. And that's why the story matters more than a simple pool. This is the opening chapter of a broader America 250 visual revival. And President Trump now has something every leader wants: proof. The reflecting pool is no longer a work zone. It is now an argument. An argument that the capital of the United States does not have to look run down. An argument that beauty, order, and national pride can be restored. An argument that America does not have to accept decay as normal. And once the voters see one win, they start expecting more. And that is how momentum builds. That is how confidence returns. And that is how the Trump administration turns restoration into a governing message that the whole country can understand in one glance. If you agree America should restore every monument, every park, and every public space that the left allowed to decline, let Antifa tear down, hit the share button right now. Subscribe to the channel. Drop your answer below. Should President Trump keep pushing this restoration agenda? Yes or no? And there's one more thing I want you to restore. I want you to restore the notifications that never arrive. And how can you do that? Well, thousands of patriots have already discovered this. All you have to do is text the words raw feed to that number on the screen, 844-840-4963. That's how we restore the truth getting directly to you, by cutting out the middleman, by cutting out big tech who thinks that you don't deserve to know the truth. But you do. And that's why I set this up just for you. So make sure you join the thousands of patriots who've already made that decision. And let's celebrate America 250, shall we? Check out the merch shelf just below this video. Find something that stands out and resonates with you. Or just visit shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Either way, let's celebrate America 250 together.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.